Morning, brilliant scholars. Let me begin right away in case I have any U.S. history kids that are watching this right before taking your test. Take your test first, and then you can come back and see this. Remember, your test, folks, is located in the module section of Canvas, and it has to be taken during your normally scheduled class period, of which we have mentioned all week. If for some reason you've got something that keeps you from taking it at that time, make sure to email me immediately. Same as if there's some kind of technical difficulty or something that happens, you need to email me right away. Do not email me Saturday saying, hey, I didn't take the test. Sorry. That doesn't cut it. So that is your responsibility. Make sure you take that. Shouldn't take you long, 20 questions, just like last test. Take your time and make sure you do as good as you can, and also make sure to get your test review handed in. That will go in Canvas under the assignment sections. Of course, Global, you guys are still working on your project. Remember, projects are due on Tuesday. Same thing for you guys. If you're having some kind of issue, you need to talk to me before it is actually due. I have sometimes kids that will come to me after a project is due and say, hey, I could do these things. Well, that's when it's too late. If you need help earlier, talk to me, especially if you have not tested Zoom or Screencast-O-Matic yet, which is what I'm using right now. They're both really easy to use as long as your computer will work for that. All right, let's take a look at what's going on around the world today. By the numbers, we've had 4 straight days where our cases or case percentages have gone down in Wisconsin. Remember, we need 14 straight days until we can get to the next level. There's actually some other things, but until we can get to the next level of Governor Evers' program for reopening Wisconsin. That is, of course, unless the Supreme Court changes their mind or changes the ruling on that, and we're still waiting on that decision. So who knows? But if things continue the way they are, we're still approximately 10 days out. Meanwhile, in Montana, they've started to reopen some schools. Not all schools, but some of them are reopening. In Montana, they've had relatively few cases, and they feel that they should be allowed to open. Critics of that decision, kind of like critics of the decision to maybe open up northern Wisconsin, are saying that the virus will just come. It's not a geographical type thing where it just can't come to places like that. It's just a matter of whether or not we've had enough exposures in those areas. Positive things to come out of coronavirus, I guess maybe depending on the way you look at it, Seattle has decided that they're going to shut down 20 miles of road permanently in areas where they've shut it down for pedestrian traffic. Now, this is a tactic sometimes cities will use where they'll take streets that used to have or normally have vehicle traffic and shut it down to vehicles, kind of like State Street in Madison. That promotes people to want to come and walk, ride bikes, or whatever in those areas because there aren't cars flying by. Something I personally really like out of cities. I can't stand going to a city where it's just slammed with traffic constantly. That doesn't seem fun to me. But if I lived on one of those blocks, it might be difficult if I can't drive to my house. Granted, usually there are exceptions to those rules. Last thing I think I have on there is the Justice Department is reversing their decision on Michael Flynn. That is a former national security advisor. He was involved in the investigation to Russian collusion in our election back in 2016 and was put in prison due to lying to the FBI. They are now looking at it and saying that he may not have actually lied, or the lies may have been something that the FBI led him into. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that turns out. But we might have former General, or always General, Michael Flynn back out. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Good luck, history test takers, global people. Please make sure you're keeping up, especially my seniors. This stuff isn't just going away. Other than that, have a great weekend.